Hi, this is Shannon Manor, and you're listening to Payday, a Pokemon podcast.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Payday, a Pokemon podcast, and it's the second week of the month, which means it's time for the 2-week hurdle, and as always, I've got a special guest, and I've got one that I'm really excited about today, someone that I've been listening to for a very long time, so it's really great to have you here. We've got Shannon Manor.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on. This is like a big deal for me, and for probably a few listeners as well, because I'm sure like a lot of people, just like me, have been listening to many of your podcasts. You've been known to do Kingdom Smarts for one, Pokemon World Tour, and Cool Kids Table.
Yeah, I kind of bounce around everywhere.
Oh man, it's really great to have you on, especially because you do a Pokemon podcast, and I try to get, you're involved in a Pokemon podcast, and I like to have as many people involved in podcasting, especially around Pokemon, as I can. I'm also a big fan of Kingdom Hearts, so...
Oh, thank you. I don't know why I'm saying thank you, like I'm taking credit for Kingdom Hearts.
I mean, you guys are like the only way I'm recapping at the moment, because I just can't get into those games anymore because they're just too long. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's totally fair. I think when I played Kingdom Hearts 3, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do all the bonus stuff, and then I just checked my watch, I'm like, never mind.
Who's got time anymore? I mean, like last time I completed a Kingdom Hearts game, I think I was still in college and I could just slack off all the time, but now I'm in full-time work, it just never happens.
Yeah.
One of these days I'll get on to Kingdom Hearts 3, but I'm not there yet.
Well, we're here to help you catch up till then.
Yeah, exactly. That's you guys are nearly done with Kingdom Hearts 2 now, as far as I'm up to date with.
Yep. We're almost done.
So I'm excited. Okay, so I got a little challenge for you, first of all, Shannon, which I get a few people that do podcasts to do.
Sure.
I want you to explain one of your podcasts. You can pick whichever one you want. I want you to explain the podcast as if you were your mum explaining it to one of her friends.
Oh my god. What's this rated?
Yeah. Yeah, you can say what you want. I don't mind.
I don't even know if my mom would even try to start. Let me see. She'd probably just... Probably a lot of, like, do you remember all the weird posters Shannon used to have up on her wall? Yeah, she just talks about that and makes a lot of jokes, and they're not funny.
I like that. That's a great one.
Or just a lot of loudly saying what until she changes the subject.
Oh, man. Okay, so we have a little tradition on the podcast where every guest has to come on and answer a series of questions that come from the game Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. I don't know if you've ever played those games.
I've played 2 of them.
See, I'm not a big fan of them. I bought this game because I heard it was good, and then I never played it, and then I just realized that like the questions at the beginning of the game are like a really good way to break the ice with new guests. So,
Aww.
We could... Yeah, I mean, are you up for taking this test and finding out who your spirit Pokemon is?
I am.
Okay, so I'm going to read them out to you, and we'll see which one you come up with. Okay, so you have to answer these questions with an honest and open heart to awaken the true form that slumbers within you. Okay, are you ready for this?
I am.
Question 1. A new student transfers into your class. What do you do? Do you offer to show them around the school, or do you wait to see what kind of person they are?
Probably that second one.
Wait to see what kind of person they are.
Yeah.
Disaster strikes! You've lost your wallet! Now what are you going to do? Do you calm down and retrace your steps, or do you tear the place apart in a frantic search?
Oh, I tear the place apart in a frantic search.
Yeah, I get that. I've been there many, many times. Everyone at school is talking about this great new book, but it's big and long. Of course you get it. They say it's great. Or you don't want to read anything that long.
I'd probably get it. I'm not too intimidated by long books.
If there's an Audible version, I'll get it.
Especially if it's, well, I'm still in school, I definitely have time to read it.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, because they assume you're a school kid in all these questions. So, yeah, I mean, put yourself back there. Okay. Halfway to school, you realize you forgot something. You'll be late if you turn back. Do you hurry back and get it anyway, or do you not bother?
I hurry back and get it. I don't mind being late.
Okay. Next question. All right, dinner time at last. You're starving and can hardly think about anything else except the chance to eat. Do you wait until everyone else is ready to start, or do you just start eating as soon as you have your food?
Trying to think. I would probably start eating. I'll admit, I'm that person.
I feel like a lot of these questions are so like contextual. Like, where are you? What are you doing? Like, are you out? Like,
Yeah, it's like I'm usually eating with just my husband and he doesn't care, so like whatever.
yeah, exactly. Like, if I was with my girlfriend, I just wouldn't think about it. Yeah, I'd just eat. We're going to the beach. Best day ever. Time to kick back and enjoy the breeze. What view do you find yourself staring at? The glittering blue stretch of sea, the endless expanse of the sky, the sandy shore being lapped by waves, the gently swaying strands of dune grass. Okay, sea, sky, waves, or grass.
Probably C.
This is where they start like narrowing it down. You can see what they're trying to do here. All right, this is the question that everybody hates because they pick 4 random genres of music, and you like can't pick. You can pick one of those, but if they're not the ones you like, but I think there's some good ones on here, so I'm kind of interested in what you're gonna say. So, all right, vacation time at last. What kind of music fits your mood? So much to do. I need marching music. Time to sip some tea and listen to classical. I want to loudly sing anime theme songs. Or I'll rock out to some hard rock.
Huh. I think I have to go with anime theme songs. That sounds like an obnoxious fun time.
I have never seen that answer on here before. I was really surprised to see that one. I was thinking that. I was like, yeah, anime theme songs for sure. Okay, and what and what would be the best word to describe your partner? Cool or cute?
Probably cool.
Cool. All right, that's the end of the questions. So here's the little summary they give about you. Do people think you're a loner? Or that you have an unapproachable aura? Oh my god. The truth is that you're a decisive person who's very sure of yourself. That strong personality must be... And then we got a little drum roll because we're seeing the little spinny wheel. And it's the Pokemon up to Gen 6 plus Pikachu and Lucario. And your spirit Pokemon is... Piplup!
Aw, yay! I like Piplup.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's one of my favourites for sure.
Aw.
That is a good... I'm glad you're happy with that choice. The last guest I had on was like, oh, really?
Aw.
Yeah. And the partner who will stick with you through thick and thin on this adventure is... So your husband, I guess, we're going to pretend?
Yeah, I guess that would work.
Tepig.
Aw, that's my favorite starter. I could see him being a fire pig. I actually have a little stuffed Tepig right here on my table with me.
Oh, that's so sweet. It sounds like you've got the perfect answers then. You got a Pokemon that you love and your favorite starter for your husband, I guess.
Aw. That is very fitting. And I think Piplups are like really
so
cranky
wholesome.
and fall down a lot, then get really mad when like they're not good enough, so I feel like that's me.
And they're too proud to take food from people, so I mean...
Yeah, that sounds like me. Actually, no, I'll totally take free food from everyone.
I gotta ask you, because we talked about anime theme songs, what is your favorite anime theme song?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Well, I'm a Sailor Moon fan, so I think it goes without saying that the Sailor Moon theme song's awesome. But I think I gotta go old school, and the Neon Genesis Evangelion theme song just still rules.
Man, I haven't heard that. I've never seen that anime before. And I've never seen Sailor Moon either.
Oh, you should see both of those. They're very good. They're very different.
I think I wanted to watch Sailor Moon, but like it felt like one of those things that like if I wasn't into when I was younger, I probably wouldn't have been into now. So I kind of haven't yet, if you know what I mean.
That's fair. I think there's a lot of lists out there that kind of like cut the fat of the Sailor Moon anime, and they're like, here's like the essentials, so you don't have to like slog through a bunch of bad filler episodes.
Oh, okay, that sounds better. Yeah, because a lot of anime has that.
Yeah, because like even as a Sailor Moon fan, and like I'm okay with filler episodes. There's reaches of some points where I'm just like, all right, I just want to get to the plot. Are we done yet?
Yeah, that's me all over as well. Yeah, I've been trying to get into Naruto. My friends have been telling me I need to watch it, but every time I start it, I'm just like, oh, the filler though. There's so much filler. For me though, I can't think. I mean, at the moment, I'm watching My Hero Academia. I've never seen that before, and I'm on season two. And the first series intro music was so good.
Oh yeah, that does have a
It
really good intro
really
music.
got me.
So does a One
It's
Punch Man.
so good. Oh yeah, yeah. What punch? I love that bit. It's so good. And there was one anime that I watched with my girlfriend last year called Your Lie in April. Have you seen that?
I have not.
Oh man, it will make you cry so much. It destroyed me. It really did. I've never seen an anime that made me cry so much.
Aw, I'll have to look that up. I'm a sucker
That
for stuff like
the
that.
it's it's on Netflix and it's just so good. It's I can't even get into. I'll be here all day talking about how good it is, but nobody I know has ever seen it, and I'm just like, how could you miss this?
Oh,
I think it's on Netflix, but the opening theme song is amazing.
oh, nice. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, okay, and I will watch Sailor Moon, and I'll let you know how I get on. Okay, so Shannon, I wanted to talk about you.
Sure.
It was, you know, I've been kind of listening to you since your first appearance in Pokemon World Tour United, and everything that sort of came from that as well. And I just wanted to know about your relationship with podcasting, and where you started, and what made you want to do it to begin with.
Uh, it's actually kind of a weird story. The first time I podcast appeared on a podcast was Sailor Business. And that's actually where I met Jake from Pokemon World Tour. I was a
Okay.
fan of the podcast, and I went to it was Heroes Con. It's a comic convention in North Carolina, and I just went and said hi to Chris Sims, and we talked for a while. And he's like, "Hey, you want to be on the show?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And that's kind of how I'm accidentally a podcaster now. And then
Oh
I met
man, so cool.
Jake started editing the show the episode I started working. So like when I started listening to when I kept listening to Sailor Business, they would like plug him at the end, and he had a Power Rangers podcast. I was like, oh, I love Power Rangers. I'll go listen to that. And then he had a Pokemon podcast. I was like, sweet, I love Pokemon. I'll go listen to that. And then me, him, and Josh just kind of started talking, and now we all do podcasts together.
It's so cool. It's like what I love about people that listen to podcasts, especially like it happened to me a lot as well. It's like the chain of podcasts, how you just find another podcast from a podcast, and it just keeps going in like this chain.
Yeah.
And I just found like so many just through like actually Jake and Josh got me into like a few podcasts just from talking about random ones, and I'll be like, oh, if they like it, maybe I should check it out, and I'll hit it up. And then the next podcast they've recommended will recommend another podcast, and then the next thing I know, I'm just like, I've got like 20 podcasts that I've just found out of nowhere, and I'm like, wow, this is so great.
Yeah, it's cool because podcasts are very niche. They're like a magazine, so you're like, I have this weird obscure obsession. Hey, look, there's a podcast for it.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. There's a podcast for everything now. Anything that I'm into, I just Google it, or I just search it on like my podcast app, and you can guarantee there's something, if not just an episode, then like a whole show, and that's the best part. So you guys now do Cool Kids Table, and I feel like you guys do it. I can't remember how many podcasts you guys do. Is it just the three that I mentioned before?
Yeah, at least for the ones I'm involved in. As much as I would love to do more, I'm unfortunately very busy, so.
Oh, tell me about it. Because you also work on the show Archer, don't you? Is that right?
Yes, I am a character designer on it.
That must be such an amazing job. Like turning your hobby like into a job must be such a great, like rewarding experience for you.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I also got the job, like, right out of art school, so it was a nice, like, hey, look, art school wasn't a waste of time or money.
That's a real lucky break as well then.
Yeah.
So do you guys like work all year round, or is it like seasonal? Because Archer is like, works in seasons and stuff.
It's seasonal, like, there's usually a hiatus between, seasons. Not always, but usually. So, like a few months of the year, I'll just not have work, but hopefully this year I won't have a hiatus, because hopefully we will have more things to work on. but I will find out in probably a month or two.
That's pretty cool. I mean, like the suspense, but kind of like exciting at the same time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a little stressful, but it's nice. And also just having like a month off of not of work, well, not great for my wallet is like great for my want to lay down and not do anything.
Great for that Kingdom Hearts time.
Yes.
Okay, so how about Pokemon? When did you start getting into Pokemon?
I have been into Pokemon since I was a kid. I remember when the games first came out, I had like no interest in playing them, but my brother was really into them. But then he found out there were two versions of the game, and he only had blue, and he couldn't talk our mom into buying red. So he got me into Pokemon. So I would ask my mom for red, and then he could use me to get the Pokemon he needed.
Oh, I tried to do that to my older brother, and he just wasn't buying it. He just didn't.
Yeah, luckily I was already into anime, so my brother just like got me into the show, and he's like, "Hey, there's a game. You should ask mom for it. Get the one that has red, then get this starter Pokemon, because it's the one I don't have."
It's such a very real problem now. Like, my co-host Matt and we just recently finished the Pokedex in Pokemon Red and Blue that we'd never done. We've been playing since it first came out as well. We never completed the Pokedex, and we set out to do it between us on the virtual console, and we managed to do it in like 2 weeks.
Oh,
But it
nice.
was like a really hard thing to do.
Yeah. I always thought I filled out the Pokedex, but I found out I'm missing two Pokemon, and it still haunts me.
That's the problem we had as well because we were like, okay, so even if there was only two of us and we needed three people really to ideally do this, and we were like, even if we both have a game each, we're going to be missing one of the EV evolutions or like one of the starters, and we were like, oh, this is going to be hell. And I think I just picked up one of the games and I just hacked it and I just like got through it in about 2 hours somehow.
Nice.
And we did it. So you've been in it since it pretty much first came out then.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a drop off point? I feel like everybody does at some point.
Yeah, it was basically immediately because I didn't know you could play Pokemon color games on the Game Boy, just in black and white and not in color. So I thought I couldn't play Gold and Silver, and I was just really sad. So that I like could like, cause when you're a stupid kid, you're like, oh well, I don't like Pokemon anymore, so I don't feel sad about it. So I'm just gonna pretend I hate Pokemon until I'm old enough to buy a DS, and then suddenly I pretend that I never hated Pokemon. So like I didn't play Gen 2 or 3.
So you had a fairly large drop off point quite early on, I guess.
Yeah, like it was one of those like I think during Gen 2 was when I was just like like I was like 10 or 11, so I was just mad that I couldn't play it, so I just pretended I didn't like it. But then like once I got to high school and Gen 3 was going on, I was just like, oh, I'll just watch my friends play it. I just don't have a Game Boy Advance. And then when I was in college and I had my own money, I could buy a DS. I was like, yes, just kidding. I've still loved Pokemon this whole time. Now no one can stop me.
What would you say was your favorite Pokemon game then?
It rotates between X and Y or Sun and Moon. I feel like those two are really like slick in how they're presented.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I agree. I haven't played X and Y for a long time, but I feel like Sun and Moon would have been a lot better if they had just brought out Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, because Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was so disappointing to me because they were basically the same game, but what Sun and Moon should have been, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, they were the finished version of Sun and Moon.
Yeah, and I thought we were getting more than that, and then a year later I just bought the same game again, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I was happy when they added the stuff with like Rainbow Rocket because I love Team Rocket and I love Giovanni, so I wasn't mad when they showed up. But then part of me was still like, oh, this isn't anything that new though. Like beating up Giovanni is something we've done so many times.
Yeah, exactly. I did enjoy that part actually. It was like you said, it's the finished version, so like it was hard to kind of get through the initial reaction to that game, but when I did get into it again, I really enjoyed it, and I'm quite looking forward to playing that again at some point soon.
Yeah, I think I've got a new save file for it started up that I need to get through again.
Yeah. What did you think of Let's Go?
It was really fun. I just kind of stopped playing it though.
Oh, you never finished it?
No, like I was so excited for it, but then I got to like the first time you beat Giovanni, and I was like, all right, cool, and then just put the game down and never went back to playing it.
You saw your favorite guy.
Yeah, I was like, all
That
right,
was
this is all I needed. The game's done now. I won't beat him, so then he can just like keep going on and being cool.
it. Hey, Dad, just came to see you. Bye. And that was it. uh, no, Let's Go was great. I really enjoyed it. I'm quite excited to find out what they're planning on doing with it next, to be honest. But I mean, who knows when that's going to be?
Yeah, especially now that they have Gen 8 in production.
Yeah. Off of that, what do you think of Gen 8 so far, from
I'm
what we've
really
seen?
excited for it. I
I
like
am too.
the trailer, because we went to London for our anniversary and I loved it. So it kind of made me oddly nostalgic for visiting England.
Oh man, yeah, I saw actually on your Instagram a couple of years ago that was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that because I was like, I think I was in London at that point as well, and I was like, oh wow, this is so weird. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see how they kind of portray England. I mean, it's not something that I'm really too. I don't. I wouldn't be bothered if they completely got it wrong because it's like England are a country of people that just don't care what you think about their country. So we're not really patriots, like compared to a lot of countries. So I'm quite excited to see how they portray it. And so far, I quite like how it's portrayed. I like the steampunky kind of look, so I'm excited
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah, and I like the starters so far, so I'm excited to see what new Pokemon we get.
Yeah, me too. I was just about to ask what starter do you like the most?
Groki.
Oh, that's same with me. Yeah, I don't get why everyone loves Sobble. I don't see it.
Yeah, Sobel's really cute because I love chameleons. I just water type's my least favorite type. It's really boring to me, so like you have to work extra hard to make me like water type.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I used to love water types so much. I remember when I was younger, I used to play through some of the games using only water types, and nowadays I just could never do that again. I don't think.
Yeah, I've just never been into them. Like the only time I've picked a water type for a starter was with Mudkip, and that one's like it ends up part ground.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I do like Greninja though. I like how like I don't like the weird tongue scarf, but I like the typing and I like the design and everything.
Yeah, Greninja's pretty cool.
So, what would you say is the best part about Pokemon to you?
Ooh, good question.
It's a very big question.
I guess like within the games, I'd have to say like all the weird side stuff where you get to use your Pokemon in a way that doesn't involve battling. Like in Gen 4, I was obsessed with what was it? The competitions you could do. I loved doing stuff like that in Pokemon games. And I guess like the my meta answer is like the community of Pokemon. Like Pokemon's got a really good community to just like meet people.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it surprised me how many people I've met just from doing this podcast for about 6 months. Like, you just get to know so many people, and like, everybody's so welcoming and nice, and you're just like, I
Yeah.
never knew.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I love it.
I don't know what my favorite thing is about Pokemon. I like the world. You get so absorbed into it. I feel like it's quite engaging. Like it's built. It's like you can just kind of design it how you like in your mind. You have your own like head canon of like. I like to have my own like trainer in my head of like this character that I've created that's not just what you see in the games. There's more personality, and I like to create like a mini backstory and almost like an OC.
Yeah, yeah, that's always a lot of fun too.
Yeah, they kind of support that as well. Okay, so I've got a couple of questions to ask you to end out the show. There's some sort of general vague questions. They're kind of like a speed round, so just, try not to think too much about your answers, but they're just kind of about you. So, I mean,
Sure,
it kind of there's a lot of varied questions. There's a few Pokemon ones sprinkled in there, but a lot of them are just random general questions. So, are you ready to begin?
I am.
Let's get started then. Okay, so what is your biggest fear?
Ooh, falling.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, not
It's not the
heights,
height, it's
just
the fall.
falling. Yeah.
Yeah, that's more like a real fear. um, when you were younger, what did you want to be?
An artist. I got right on the dot.
Man, that's so great.
There was a minute where I wanted to be a vet.
A vet. That'd have
Yeah,
been cool.
but then I realized I'm really bad at science and math, and I was like, oh, never mind. I'll just draw pictures.
I think you picked the best job anyway.
I think so. Way less math.
What would your superpower be?
Ooh, telekinesis.
Oh, the same as me. Perfect. Moving stuff in your mind would be so easy. You could slack off so much.
It'd be amazing.
What is your favorite Pokemon?
Mew.
What is your favorite time of year?
Fall.
Oh, I've got what is your dream job, but have you got it? I mean, are you living it?
Yeah, it's being a character designer.
Damn, you're living it up. I love it. This is so great. What was the last thing you saw on TV?
Oh, what did we watch something yesterday? I think we were catching up in Riverdale.
What is your biggest passion in life?
I guess probably art. It's basically like 98% of who I am.
What would you name your autobiography?
Oh god. I have no idea. It'd just be a picture of me shrugging. That's it. Or maybe don't worry about it. I say that a lot. It's like my catchphrase at work.
I like it. What is the most expensive Pokemon related item you've ever bought?
I like buying a lot of plushies, so I'm pretty sure I have some Japanese Mew plushies that cost like $35 or up, which is way too much to spend on a plushie.
Oh my god, yeah, that's a lot. But for the best Pokemon, I can't judge you for that. Definitely not.
Yeah. And one of them's at least a pillow, so it's really cute. And it's pretty big. So I was like, alright, this one's worth $35.
I mean, decent. I would pay that for a pillow. Tea or coffee?
I drink both of them. I guess I'll go with tea, because tea I can drink all day. I can only do 1 cup of coffee or else I get sick.
Oh man. Okay. What is your favorite movie?
Ooh, No Country for Old Men.
I've not seen that.
Ooh, it's
Oh.
fantastic.
Okay, you're building me up like a list of things I need to do right after this episode. I'm gonna write all these down and then I'm gonna just like tweet at you at some point and be like, okay, so I finished Sailor Moon. It's real good.
Well, I hope you like everything that I tell you to watch, apparently.
Okay, but in return, you've got to check out that Your Lie in April because you'd love it. I really think you would.
I will, I'll look that up.
If you could eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Probably some kind of pasta dish. I'm really into Italian food. My favorite's fettuccine alfredo, but I get really sick whenever I eat fettuccine alfredo, but I'd probably still do it anyways.
That's like the worst thing ever, though, isn't it? When like one of your favorite things just makes you sick.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about. I've had so many different types of alfredo too, just to try to like pinpoint what it is about it. But I think it's just all the grease from the cheese just doesn't sit right with me. But some days I'm just like, oh, well, I'm just not doing anything for the rest of the day because I want some fettuccine alfredo.
Apparently, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with cherry soda, but it was like this like really cheap brand of cherry soda that was like really gross, and like apparently it used to make me feel so sick, but I would always drink it, and my parents used to get so frustrated because they'd like send me to the shop with some money to buy something, and I'd just come back with cherry soda and end up getting sick. It was worth it. What is your favorite Pokemon type?
My favorite Pokemon type? It's Psychic.
If you could live in any Pokemon region, where would you live?
Ooh, Alola.
Good choice.
It just seems really nice there.
Yeah, it does. I picked Johto, but I think Alola was my close second because just Hawaii. Like,
Yeah.
be so nice. Okay, so the Let's Go series, do you think it's going to be Let's Go Marrow and Let's Go Togepi, or do you think they'll go down a Let's Go Gold, Let's Go Silver route?
Ooh. I feel like to stay on brand, they'd have to do the Pokemon route, but I don't know if Togepi and Meryl have the same star power as Pikachu and Eevee, so it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, we were doing this. We did an episode a few months back, and we were trying to like guess who we thought the mascots would be for all the generations. And the further you get in, the more it just falls apart, and you're like, this would never ever work. They're gonna have to do something different here.
Yeah, because like Let's Go Gold and Silver just sounds like way easier to say than Let's Go Meryl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I love Meryl and I love Togepi, and I feel like if they were gonna have mascots, it would have to kind of be those two. I can't picture anything else, but I just can't see it.
Yeah.
um. Oh, okay. What is your biggest guilty pleasure?
Ooh, what is my biggest guilty pleasure? I'm not usually ashamed of weird, stupid stuff I like. It might be power metal, because I kind of hate power metal, but I kind of listen to power metal all the time.
I like it. That's a good. That's a really great answer. Power metal.
Yeah, stuff like Dragon Force, where like the back of my head's like, this is terrible, stop listening to Dragon Force. Every song's the same, but then I just turn it up louder to like drown out that little voice.
Just shut up, enemy. I'm enjoying it. And then just turn it up. Okay, this is a question that kind of divides the room a little bit. But would you go watch a movie by yourself at the cinema if no one wanted to go with you? Like if there was a film you really wanted to see?
Oh yeah, I've done that all the time. That oddly doesn't bother me.
Have you? Yeah, see, there's a few people I speak to and they're kind of like, no, I don't think I would go. And I was like that until this year. And I was like, my New Year's resolution is going to be go see a movie by myself and see what the fuss is all about and like just suck it up. And I'm happy to say I went last week for the first time by myself and it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, it's just so much easier because you don't have to like plan stuff with everyone. You can just go whenever you want and leave whenever you want.
Yeah, right. Like I just finished work and I just went to the movies and watched a film. It was great.
Yeah, I think I went like a few months ago during the winter and just went and saw something by myself because it was where I work. There's like a movie theater right next door, and they were playing a K-pop thing, and I was like, oh, I'll just go watch that. And I just went and watched it. Went home. It was great.
That's really cool. I think, well, I know the movie I watched last week was Us. Have you heard of that? It's new.
Yeah, I went and saw that yesterday. It's amazing.
It was so good, right? I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that one I was about to go see by myself because my husband doesn't like horror movies. So I was like, oh, I'll just see it by myself. But he felt really bad, so he went and saw it with me and ended up really liking it. So
Oh, I'm glad. I love horror movies. Like they're a real like it's just like a sick pleasure of mine. I just love watching horror movies, especially by myself when I can get like really scared. So going by myself to the movies was like a big deal because I was like it was so much scarier by myself, if you know what I mean.
oh yeah, because you don't have like anyone to like share the experience with, so you're just kind of stuck by yourself in your emotions.
Yeah, usually I'm with my girlfriend and I kind of just look over to her like, oh my God, like when something bad's happening or like, you just kind of like, you've got somebody there, but when you're by yourself, like, and I was on the whole like row by myself as well. There was nobody around me. So I was like, wow, I'm really isolated here.
Yeah, I think when I watched Hereditary, I watched it at home with my husband, but he wasn't actually watching it, so I was basically watching it by myself. So like every time something terrible would happen, I'd have to like pause it and like calm down and like look over at him for like some help, and he's just like, oh, I didn't see anything that happened, what's wrong? And I was like, alright, never mind.
Oh, dude, I watched that movie 2 weeks ago by myself for the first time and it blew my mind. Oh my God. Like it is so disturbing. Like I had to keep
It,
pausing it as well just to kind of like take a breather.
yeah, I've never had to stop a horror movie to like go into the next room and just like sit down for a second, but like that movie messed me up.
Ah, it's so good. I recommend that to anybody listening. Hereditary, if you like horror, it's like one of the best horror movies I've ever seen, I think.
Yeah, it was definitely probably my favorite movie of last year, which is saying a lot because some good movies came out last year.
Yeah, there were some great ones. I'm going to throw a little shameless plug in right here. I actually have a horror movie podcast that I just started, and this is like the perfect time to fit it in here. So it's just dropped on iTunes and Spotify called The Silver Scream, and it's a random generated horror movie review podcast. So, I mean, if you guys are interested in horror movies, definitely check that out if you want to hear more of me chat about scary stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I think at present it's only on Spotify because I literally submitted it the other day. So iTunes should be like by the time this episode's out.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so last two questions. What album or record can you listen to without getting tired?
Ooh. That's. I feel like this should be easy because I actually don't get tired of music very easily, so it's probably any album that I like, I can listen to nonstop without getting tired of it.
Man, I envy that. I get bored if I listen to anything for too long, and I'm the kind of person that gets like obsessed with a song for like a little while, and then like I'll listen to it too much, and then I just yeah, that's it. I can't
Yeah,
hear it
literally,
anymore.
like, if a new album or a new song comes on, I'll definitely listen to it, like, all day and then just, like, listen to it sporadically and have zero problems. Like, I'm still not tired of Let It Go, and everyone else is.
Oh man, that's like 4 years ago at least, right?
Yeah,
Even longer.
I'll still hear people get mad about it. I'm like, what? It's a good song. It's fine.
It's fine. All those people have a new movie at the end of the year, and they can have a new song, and they can all get over themselves. Lastly, what one thing would you change on your podcast?
Ooh, me saying like. I say like so much.
I haven't. I don't know. I probably got some terrible habits that I haven't even picked up on yet, and I'm like just waiting for one of these days, and then someone will tell me, and I'm like, oh god. And then,
Yeah, I usually listen to Kingdom
uh,
Smarts while I'm doing the visual diary, so like I'll have to listen to myself, and every time I'm like, please just stop for 2 seconds and think of a word that's not like.
please.
Like, you can find you can get another nervous tick, it's fine.
Just find another one. Yeah, that's going to be me in a few weeks or a few months, I'm sure. That's it for the questions. And I mean, that's pretty much all I had left for you, Shannon. Thank you so much for coming on and doing
Thank you
this
so
with me.
much
It
for
was
having
really
me.
great and a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
we do we do a little MIDI episode every month as well called Spotlights, where we have guests that have been on the show come back and talk about their favorite Pokemon. So I'd love to have you on sometime to talk about probably Mew, I imagine.
That is the Pokemon I am most famous for loving.
Every now and then I just like go back and listen to some World Tour United, and I just remember the one where you're in Mount Moon and there was a Clefairy that was actually a Mew, and you didn't know about it until it was too late, and you were just like basically walked off the podcast.
Yeah, when we record that, we usually keep video up, and I definitely just took off my headphones, looked them in the eyes, and walked away.
I could feel it just listening to it. It's definitely like what's cemented. Like I was like, yeah, Shannon loves Mew. Clearly, like, really loves Mew.
Yeah, and I think the first time I was on, everyone kept adding me. They're like, I like that there wasn't a moment's pause between them asking your favorite Pokemon and you saying Mew. Like, you started saying Mew before they finished the question.
There was another thing when Let's Go first came out. I remember you putting up a tweet of you running around with Mew following you in the overworld, and your tweet was just like 10 out of 10 best game.
I was very happy.
Yeah, I can imagine. When I saw it, I was like, oh man, I gotta get my Mew. So I got it straight away.
I didn't ask my husband, like, who wanted the Mew when we got the Pokeball, so I just immediately took it, and he was just like, I guess that's yours. I was like, oh, I didn't know there was a question.
uh, that's so great. That's definitely something I would do to my girlfriend as well.
It's like, I just thought it was implied. It was a
Oh.
Mew, which meant it was mine.
Yeah, right. Like you wouldn't take your husband's favorite thing, right?
Yeah, I buy him Chespin stuff.
Oh, Chespin's a great Pokemon as well.
Yeah, I think it's Chespin and Sandshrew, and I was like, what a cute little corner of Pokemon to love.
Yeah, like they're a little forgotten about Sandshrew.
Yeah.
Oh. Alright, so thank you so much for coming on, Shannon. Is there anything you want to plug before you go?
Well, I guess we've mentioned my podcast. There's Kingdom Smarts, which is at Kingdom Smarties on Twitter. You can find it on iTunes or whatever podcasting apps you use. Same with the Cool Kids Table is on Twitter at CKTcast, and we're available wherever you can find podcasts. I don't know what we're doing right now, but we rotate game systems, and I think we're about to do something new and exciting. So keep an eye out for that. What else? Oh, I have a new webcomic, which is called Dragon Sanctuary. It's dragonsanctuarycomic.com. We just got our first 40 pages up, and I'm pretty excited about that.
Anybody that is a fan of Shannon as well should definitely check out The Very Best, which is your red and blue fan comic.
Oh yeah, it's I describe it as a rom-com, but for the Pokemon Red and Blue story.
I was one of the lucky people to get a physical copy of it. I bought it on your store envy. It's so great. I've got it on my shelf.
Oh, thank you. Hopefully after this con season, because I just got a new batch printed out, so after con season, I'll probably have some more up on my website, which I guess is shanmanorart.storeenvy.com. And you can follow me on Twitter at
Great.
Shannon Manor.
Cool. Everything will be in the show notes down below, guys, if you need it as well. And
Cool.
you can follow me everywhere. Pokemon Payday on Twitter, Instagram, you name it, we're probably there. And our episodes are also on YouTube as well, if anybody listening prefers YouTube. And you can email us at pokemonpayday@gmail.com. Okay, thanks so much, Shannon, again, for coming on. And I'm really looking forward to you coming back at some point.
Oh, thank you. I will happily come back.
So thanks very much for listening, guys, and we'll catch you next Friday. Take care. Bye.